This is especially for like my educators. Like this is like the key to figuring out like what kind of course you want or what you're going to teach in the class, and like coaching programs. All of that really boils down to knowing your clients' challenges and likes, dislikes, all of that good stuff. Because if you have something that can help them, get over that challenge, you can offer that as a solution. And if you know what their goals are, then you can help them. You can create something that's going to help them reach their goals quicker or more efficiently. And welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Akua Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives just like you on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Akua Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I'm so happy to have you here with me, and I hope that you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. If you are a friend in beauty and you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious, and supportive friends in beauty to virtually connect with and network and share resources, then I invite you to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. The link will be down below in the show notes or in the description. Just click that and answer a few questions, and I'll let you right on in. Also, follow us on social media at Friends in Beauty. Lately, I've been doing this thing called the Friends in Beauty Friday feature, where I spotlight different friends in beauty and their accomplishments, no matter how big or small. So if you're wanting to be featured, if you have something that you want us to celebrate and help you celebrate, like I said, no matter how big or small it is, use the hashtag FIB Friday feature and share with the Friends in Beauty community. Also, we are on Apple Podcasts. So if you have an Apple product, iPhone, iPad, all of that good stuff, Apple, the Mac computer, find Friends in Beauty on the podcast app under iTunes, and leave us a 5-star rating and review so that other Friends in Beauty can find this show, and also so I can know what you think about the podcast. We're also on YouTube, so if you do prefer to watch the interview episodes or just to watch it in general, like on your TV, on your phone, then we're also on YouTube. You can find the podcast there as well. And also, last but not least, which is the most important, this community cannot grow on its own. So share this podcast, share Friends in Beauty with your other friends in beauty, your family and friends, and anybody that you feel can benefit from the information that is shared, because we are trying to grow this tribe nationally and internationally, okay? And I need your help to do that. Thank you in advance. So today on the Friends in Beauty podcast, I wanted to talk to you about the importance of knowing your audience. As an educator, I can honestly say this is one of the things that I see a lot of my friends in beauty kind of skim over, or they don't take the time to really properly figure out who they're targeting or who their messaging is meant for. So I wanted to talk to you because you're my friends in beauty, and I want to see you do well, and I want to see you win. So I want to talk to you about the importance of knowing your audience today. So when you don't know your audience, it could show up as a few different things. So what I've seen in my own experience, when you don't know your audience, it could kind of show up as you maybe struggling on social media. Maybe you have low engagement. Maybe it just seems like no matter what you post, it just seems like it's not getting in front of the right people, or the people who really, really want to see that content. No matter what you post, you only get a few likes, you only get a few followers here and there. Your following isn't growing. You're not getting that engagement, the likes, the comments, all of that good stuff. Also, it might show up as no bookings. You might be having trouble with clients consistently booking you. You may have to take a look at, your audience. Also, it might show up as clients inquiring, and those aren't the ones that you particularly want to work with. So I've seen this several times with makeup artists that I work with, where, the people who are reaching out to book appointments with them aren't necessarily the ideal type of client that they want to service. Sorry. And that could be frustrating. It could show up as frustration too. It could also show up as maybe people are haggling or debating with you about your rates. You find yourself going back and forth with people in the emails or in the comments or in the DMs about your rates. Well, maybe can you do it for this, or can you take $10 off, or why do you charge this price? Like all of those things. And also, it's so much more, but if you're starting to get mad when people don't want to pay those rates, then I can definitely say, like, some of these things are happening to you, you may have to ask yourself, do I know my audience? Do I truly, truly know my audience? Because if you did, I can guarantee you a lot of those challenges would not be happening. So let's talk about it. Knowing your audience basically all boils down to marketing. It helps you figure out what works and what doesn't work. When you know your audience, you'll start to figure out what works and what doesn't work when it comes to your marketing and how you're showing up for your client and how you're presenting yourself. It helps you figure out what content and messages people really care about, especially when it comes to social media. So most of the time when I'm talking, I'm basing this off of social media because I know that's what a lot of us mainly use to, market our business for free and for clients to find us and everything. So it definitely helps you figure out what content and messages people actually care about when it comes to you posting. It helps you figure out how to show up for those people that you want to reach. And in turn, it starts to shape like your potential client's perception of you. When you know your audience, everything you do will more than likely begin to resonate with the people who matter the most to you and your success. For me, that's like my potential clients or my potential students, my current clients and my current students, and my peers. Those are the people who matter the most to me and my success when it comes to my business. And just speaking on the social media thing, really, really quick, like a side note that I just thought about, this is one of the reasons why I tell people not to change like their personal page into their business page, because that's when you start to run the risk of losing engagement, because the way that you would normally talk on your personal page, it might not resonate with the people who you're trying to do business with. And it's kind of forcing those people who know you personally to go on like this journey with you. I've had like makeup artists, like my students say, okay, I'm just going to turn my personal page into like a makeup page. But it's like, I wasn't on your page to see makeup. I was there because I wanted to see you. So if you do something like that, you might notice that your engagement might, look a little weird, and it's a little hard to reach the people that you want to reach because those aren't your people that's on that page. But that's a whole nother side note that I just thought about, but I thought I would share because, I got to share. So you may be asking now, like, how do I get to know my audience? And you may be used to like the basic demographic thing. I know it's definitely something I've taught, but I also go a little bit deeper with it. But the basic demographics thing is like when you create an avatar, you create your ideal client avatar. And this is something that all business models have. So I'm always surprised when I teach this that a lot of makeup artists or other beauty professionals don't have this. Every business out here, including Apple, all these business, Instagram have ideal client avatars for who they want to use their services. So you may be used to doing something like that where you just create those basic demographics like the age, the person's salary, if they got kids, what kind of job they have. All of that stuff is really important, but it doesn't really give you much insight as to that person's buying potential or what they like or dislike. So you also need to know what your potential client or your client likes or dislikes, the challenges that they have, the pain points that they have, some of their goals and desires. So it clearly feels like you're reading their mind. Like they should feel like when they come to your page and you have a caption, and this is kind of adding on to the episode that I did about, writing, like tips for writing captions and everything like that. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go back a few episodes and listen. But they should really feel like you are talking to them directly. Like you are in their brain. Like having a one-on-one like conversation with them. And when that happens, you'll start to get more leads. You'll have more people that's interested in your services or what you do as a friend in beauty. You'll get more clients, you'll get more referrals, and more eyes on you, which is what we all want anyway. We want to be noticed. We want to be, we want to be seen. We want to be acknowledged for what we do. So more eyes on you, because that client feels like you just get them. Like you just got it all down pat. When you know your client's challenges, you can position what you offer as the solution. And vice versa, when you know your client's likes or when you know their goals, you can position what you offer as something that can help them do more of that or to reach their goals. And this is especially for like my educators. Like this is like the key to figuring out like what kind of course you want or what you're going to teach in the class, and like coaching programs. All of that really boils down to knowing your clients' challenges and likes, dislikes, all of that good stuff. Because if you have something that can help them, get over that challenge, you can offer that as a solution. And if you know what their goals are, then you can help them. You can create something that's going to help them reach their goals quicker or more efficiently, and all that good stuff. So if you want to be an educator, this is one of the things that you're going to have to go through. And just servicing clients in general, these are things that you need to know too. Because if you, for example, I always have to give makeup artist examples because I'm a makeup artist and that's just the easiest things to do. But if you know that your client, your potential client, if you want to focus on maybe let's say women who have very like a very deep skin tone, and you know that their challenge is always that their foundations may always look a little too red or too orange, or they always have a problem with makeup artists not being able to match their foundations and all that good stuff. Then you know that what you position as your service or what you offer is that you are the best with matching clients with deep skin tones. I won't have you looking red. Your foundation will match and you will look flawless and you will look glowy, and your glam and your beauty will be on point just like everybody else. Booyah. With the goals and the likes, I can give an example from a teaching standpoint. When you know your client's goals, then you just create a course that kind of takes them step by step to reach that goal. So if their ultimate goal is to be a six-figure artist or something like that, then you have to really think, okay, what does it take to be a six-figure artist? And then you take them through that process to reach that goal. Simple, right? It sounds simple, but it does take some time. So I want to give you 3 easy ways. Of course, there are much more, but I want to give you 3 easy ways that I personally used to get to know my audience a little bit more. So if you're feeling stuck and you're like, maybe I don't know my audience, like how do I get to know them? Your girl Akua got you covered. So let's go. So let me give you my 3 easy ways to get to know your audience. First thing that you want to do is review any previous data and any success that you've had so far. So any previous data that you may have collected before about your clients, review that, revisit that, because sometimes we get lost in the sauce and we forget that we even have that stuff. If you've done something before where maybe you've had focus groups for certain products of yours, or you survey clients before about your services or, what they want to see in the service or what they're looking for, review that data, go back to it. If you've had any previous successes, so for example, if you have, say, an Instagram business page, you can go to your insights and see how certain posts performed. You don't want to neglect or discount what you've done so far that actually worked. So make sure you're actually paying attention to what worked and what doesn't. Look at your insights, look at the likes, look at the saves, look at the total engagement on that post. Did people comment? Did they like it? Was it good? And do more of it and just do more of that. I that's like the easiest thing for me to do is to go look at that. And I'm like, okay, they like that motivational post, or they liked when I gave them the 3 tips, or they liked that I actually did video. Do more of what works and you'll start to see a change, because you'll be doing more of what your client likes and they'll engage more and be more tuned in. Second thing that I like to do and that I've done before to get to know my audience, to see what they like, is to actually experiment with my content and then monitor the feedback. So experiment, do some things that you've never done before. If you're shying away from doing video content, maybe try to do some video and see if your client or your potential people on your Instagram or your audience responds to you doing video. Maybe you should give some tips. Maybe you can show a little humor sometime. Maybe you could give a peek into like your personal life and some of the things that you like and dislike. Just start to like experiment with the content that you're posting and monitor, the engagement on that post. Really, really good if you have the business page so you can see the insights, but monitor the engagement. People are actually liking it, going to visit your profile, commenting, and all of that good stuff. My third tip is to just ask. This is my favorite one, just to ask the question. What are your challenges? What are you struggling with? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? I do this all the time, and it works because people love to talk about what they struggling with. It's just that simple. People love to talk about what they struggling with. People like to talk about what they like and their goals. People just like to talk about themselves. So actually on my Instagram, if I'm thinking about an idea for a class, or if I'm trying to figure out my messaging for how I need to speak to this particular client to promote this class, I need to be able to hit on their pain points. So what I do is I ask the question. So for example, with artistry, what are some of your challenges when it comes to shade matching? What are some of your challenges when it comes to consistently booking clients? Like, I ask all of those different questions. So when it's time for me to start marketing my class, all I'm doing is going back to those pain points, because I'm going to make sure that when I have my class, I'm going to hit on those individual challenges. So some people may say, oh, my biggest challenge with, matching foundation is like the undertone. So when I write that messaging for that class, I'm going to be sure to say, do you struggle with matching undertones when you're shade matching? Or, something to that extent. Like I said, they need to know and they need to feel like you are reading their mind. And a bonus, I just randomly thought about this. If you do, because I have done those ideal client avatars and things like that before. If that is something that you're interested in and you don't feel like you got those creative juices to get really, creative with that person that you're trying to create for your brand or that ideal client or audience that you have, what I've actually done before in the past is I've taken like a client of mine that I've actually dealt with before several times. She's like one of my favorite clients, and I use her as an example for my ideal client. So everything that she embodies, she's pretty much like very close to like my ideal client. I just took her as an example and used it to build my avatar. So a working woman, 6 figures, owns her own business, just certain things about her that I really liked as a person too. I added that in and it helps. So if you can't think of anything creatively, like off of the top of your head, start with somebody that you actually know, who you consider to be like an ideal client or somebody that you enjoy working with, and start from there, and then you can start to build on it. So as you can see, getting to know your audience isn't simple. It definitely takes time, but it is necessary and is definitely worth it. Take some time to really figure this out if this is something that you're struggling with. Take some time to really figure out who your audience is. This is going to ensure that your efforts are not in vain when it comes to social media. Those audience members are going to turn into long-term clients and people who are loyal supporters of your brand. So it's very important that you take the time to really flesh this out. So as always, I hope that this episode was helpful. Go ahead and review those tips. If you ever have any questions, you know that you can reach out to me personally on my personal Instagram at Akua Robinson. That is AKUA ROBINSON. Or you can leave me a comment on the post that is designated for this episode on Facebook or Instagram, or in the Facebook Friends in Beauty community, okay? It's so many ways to reach me, and email and all of that. So many different ways that you can reach me if you ever have any questions. So if you've been struggling with, engagement, getting clients, people haggling for your rates, being frustrated, all that good stuff, maybe time for you to revamp and get to know your audience a little bit more. So take some time to do that, and I wish you much luck and success. You can do this. Like I said, it's worth it. You can do this. So I will talk to you next week in another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty, and subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, #Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.